DC done it again. A new animated movie, Justice League vs. Fatal 5, has dropped. And is it as good as the other DC films? Keep it locked and find out. What's up, people? That guy Ralph, third favorite YouTuber. New video time. This one is Justice League vs. Fatal 5, right? This will be a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the film, please go back, watch the movie, then come back to my video so you can see what I thought of the film, and I can get another view and some more watch time. That'd be awesome. Anyways, I just figured I could get out the way because I don't want people mad at me that I spoiled the movie, and you've been warned early. All right. The movie came out some time ago, and I got to watch it. I actually watched it twice so I can get a really clear view on the grading I wanted to give it. So here it is. Before I go any further, make sure you go down below, like this video, comment your thoughts on the movie and also this video. Share with your friends because sharing is caring, and subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications. Right? Justice League vs. Fatal 5. Let's get it. First thing I always review is animation because it's the first thing that people will notice, and this will get people to keep watching it. The animation's bad, you're more likely not to have views on the movie. It's that simple. But for this one, I give it a 4. My only gripe about it is that it's Bruce Timm's style, and I feel like it didn't mix well with the theme of the movie. The movie is more geared to an adult audience. There's a lot of bloodshed, and even in the beginning of the film, with Jessica Cruz telling the story about her and her friends, you see the one friend get shot right in the head, and I don't know if kids want to see that. I think it's kind of like, too much. But as watching Bruce Timm as a kid, and even now, I kind of just got it installed in my head, is more a family-geared film, and the animation of Bruce Timm is very cartoony. Not saying it's bad, but it fits perfect for that universe. But to translate it for the animation film, for it to be geared to an adult audience, I feel like the two don't go hand in hand. But still, overall, great animation. I didn't think it was bad, just wouldn't be my pick for that movie. That's it.
I'm so not eating my pudding. Do you want it?
Yes.
Let's move on to characters. Characters, pretty much the use of the characters, the likability, and the main characters. For that, I give it a 3.5. The main thing I want to say early that I really liked was that the Trinity was not the focus point of the film. You see Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, but they were not the focus point of the story. The actual focus point was Jessica Cruz, Starboy, and even Mr. Terrific and Miss Martian actually helped more than what the Trinity did. Then on the villain side, Mono and the Emerald Empress were the main focus point. But the thing I didn't like was that the Justice League is full of a lot of characters, and they kept it confined with the same characters, which I wasn't tripping because I thought it was really cool to use them. But I'm like, all these people, and you still stick with the one that you want to use. Which, I mean, I wasn't tripping, but overall, still great. The villains, the Fatal 5, they were okay. Mono really took over most of the villains. You see the Persuader and you see Thorak, they do their thing, but I don't know, they were just supporting, and it was very obvious that they were not the focus point of this film. But Jessica Cruz, they did use Diane Guerrero as the voice actor, and I thought that was really good because she is Hispanic, and I feel like representation is somewhat important, especially with a character like Jessica Cruz. Her last name's Cruz. But by the way, I think she's going to have a big year. She's also in the DC Superhero Girls. Starboy was probably my favorite character in this whole film. That kid showed a lot of heart, but I'm going to get to that later in the story. But let's move on to the next one.
Bring it, Skeletor.
Let's move on to flow. Flow for me is a combination of tone and pacing, because I feel like the two would help go hand in hand. For that, I give it a 4. The only gripe on the flow that I actually gave it was the fact that there was small in-between parts that I felt like should really get to it. right? So you see Starboy, and he's mysterious. Like, you know what's going on because you see him with the Legion of Superheroes in the future, in the beginning of the film. So you know where he stands, but then now you're just waiting for it to kind of like him find the rest of Justice League members and them take on the Fatal Five. So I felt myself trying to feel like it was rushing, but the tone overall was pretty good. It was a serious tone, but they didn't take themselves seriously, and that's what I really appreciated. They stuck with a lot of different tones in this because there was a lot of serious issues. Starboy seems like he's like mentally challenged in some cases. Like, he tends to forget stuff, and he didn't have his chlorpropine, whatever that fucking medicine in the future that he used.
Hi, I need quattroclozapine right away.
What?
Quattroclozapine. This is an emergency. You have to give it to me.
And Jessica Cruz was going through PTSD. And for a Lantern to feel afraid of leaving the house and not waking up, and they're supposed to be, brave and strong willpower, I thought was really good. And the whole movie, you're wondering, like, why do you pick her? Why did they pick her? But then when time comes and crunch time hits, that's when she delivers. So I thought that was really good. But for flow, I gave it a 4. And the last thing would be story. Story for me is key. Like, a story would keep me entertained. Even if the movie may not be as good, if the story is good for me, I'm going to keep watching it. And for story, I gave it a 5. Thought the story was really good. Pretty much the basics of it is, the movie starts off with the Legion of Superheroes in the future, in the 30th century, with Starboy. And they're taking on the Fatal Five. But they're too strong to contain. So even if they beat them, they're going to get loose. So they come up with a plan to take the Emerald Empress and Validus and send them in the past to the Green Lantern Corps, and for them to be detained there. So, of course, the rest of the Fatal Five is going to follow them. Starboy follows them. He's stuck in the past. He lands, I guess you can say, today's time. Batman sees him. He's in Arkham for a little bit. Then, of course, shit hits the fan. And make a long story short, they're looking for Jessica Cruz because she's the one that's going to take the Fatal Five to get the Emerald Empress. But Starboy also knows that she's a huge hero in his time, and she's like put up in the museum. She's limelight, and that's the focus point. It's pretty much Jessica Cruz's key, and she ends up fucking up. Of course, she gives the villains what they want, but she fixes it by fucking them all up. And Starboy is the hero at the end of the day because the Emerald Empress actually blew up the sun, but Starboy kept it all together. And that kid had a lot of heart, which I'm going to get back to. Throughout the whole film, he always says he's a hero. And everybody's like, yeah, we get it. Yeah, Legion of Superheroes. But to him, it's deeper than that. Like, no, it's not just the title. This is me. And when crunch time came, he showed up. He did his thing. He made sure the sun didn't explode. Jessica Cruz, when it was time for her to man up or woman up, she got up and she did her thing. Thought she really kicked ass. And I thought, I'm going to bring it back again, I thought having Diana Guerrero voice her was really good. Anytime you see a minority character, you want them to be represented correctly. I did do a video, comic accuracy versus diversity. Go check it out. I'm going to pop the link up above. But I think it's really important because I think everybody should have at least somebody that they could relate to. And I think that's what's the best part about it. Overall, Justice League versus Fatal Five, it was a 16.5 out of 20. I thought it was really good. I thought it was phenomenal. I recommend a lot of people to see it. My favorite part of it was actually when Starboy saved the day. He just showed a lot of heart, and I teared up a little bit because he's a very likable character. It's very easy to get to like Starboy just because he's like a little kid almost, but he knows what he has to do. And overall, I thought that was great. And he does like all this like crazy stuff. He has me cracking up in the beginning when he's in Arkham Asylum talking to Two-Face. Jessica Cruz is really cool. I actually like the use of Mr. Terrific. You see him a lot now. He's on the CW shows. He pops up here and there, and he's also in a lot of the newer comics. And the use of him was really good. Like, they used him for exactly what he was. I thought that was really good. Miss Martian's always a cool character to look at. She's another one who's going to keep excelling. I see a lot of new characters starting to take front place, and I think that's Bravo and the Justice League versus Fatal 5 is what they needed to do. They needed to give other people the shine, right? So that was it for the review. Tell me what you guys thought of this film, if you saw it or not, and would you recommend it to somebody else to see it? And I think also a person who's not into comics would really appreciate this film. It's the end of the video, and you have this time where you could hit subscribe to the channel and also watch another video of mine if maybe you're not interested in this one, right? Good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Rub your nipples, stay sexy. Peace out, people.